to own it. Just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here. Oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you've been doing this for a while, and I know this. I met you last year, and you had products. Are they the same products, or did they change?
So it's evolved. It was actually called something else too, and now it's called Conscious Skincare for Your Soul. So it's definitely evolved. All of the ingredients are organic. It is still natural, and I've definitely raised the bar a little bit with it.
And then it's really cool because you were getting your schooling to be an esthetician. You were selling these products before, but now that you are an esthetician, like, how have you evolved in using them?
Well, honestly, that was the whole reason why I even went to aesthetic school, was to grow and evolve. Learning about the skin on a different level outside of becoming an herbalist and learning about the herbs really changed the game for me, and it was sort of the missing piece to my skincare puzzle.
I love that. No, that's cool, and I don't even know anybody that dedicated into this, so please tell us.
Yeah, so it was definitely the missing puzzle, and it kind of happened on accident, really, because I know that sounds funny, like,
to say, happen. I understand.
And it sounds funny to say, like, I went to school on accident, but it was actually because I used to be a caregiver, and so it was her daughter who did hair, and she's like, Morgan, like, you work with herbs, you're making the skincare, you know your herbs, but like, why don't you go to ST school and learn a little bit more about the skin? And I was just like, I don't know, it just clicked. So literally 2 days later, I signed up for school. So, but it helped me evolve as a person and making my skincare, learning more about the skin. And then I fell in love with the facial aspect too, so. So
when you were selling these before, like when I met you last year, was it for or was it for everything and you didn't really differentiate how it helped with the face?
It was for acne, it was for anti-aging, mature skin, dermatitis and eczema is something that I focus on too. I myself suffered really bad from cystic acne, and that is how this all started.
Thank God for blemishes. I mean,
yeah, thank God for acne,
who
right?
Who makes money out of like their own acne? That's hysterical. I love that. So it's a really great story.
That's kind of how it happened. I mean, I've always been like into clean products and more on the natural side, the hippie in me. But that's ultimately what led me to this. So originally when this started, it was about almost, I want to say 6 years ago. But I was already doing it for myself prior. So it just kept evolving and growing.
And that made you interested.
Yes. So yeah, the universe is an interesting place, how things just happen. So.
Okay, well, it's okay. So now it's going to take a weird turn on this, but I have dermatitis actually on my feet. So do you have products for that?
Yeah. So actually, I almost didn't bring this out because it's in my SD size jar. But this is called the Healer Rejuvenating Balm. And this specifically is good for dermatitis, eczema. It's anti-aging, deeply moisturizing and hydrating.
Is it a waste to put on your feet though?
No. Mm-mm. And honestly, in the winter, like I've told people who like have cracked feet or hands, like even men, like my dad has super cracked hands.
Oh yeah,
and he works construction.
As you age and like you're out doing, yeah.
And so I tell him like you put it on your hands, and even you can put it on the bottoms of your feet, and like
but your feet actually do look really smooth.
Hey. I mean, everything I use is my own stuff, so yeah. But yeah,
oh my God,
that would be really
totally
good.
Use that because yeah, I do have like dermatitis on the feet, and I've been trying to get something for it. Like doctors never know what to give me.
Well, and a lot of times because I have it around my nose, and I'll get it around my mouth specifically when I'm stressed out. So I actually will wash my face with that. So you can also wash your face with that too. So it's like a one for all, like that. It used to be called the balm, but now it's the Healer Rejuvenating Balm. So, I mean, everything has evolved since I saw you last at Farmer's Market, so.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
No, and that's great that you, so what new products have you gotten since I saw you too?
So,
let's go with the products we have here.
There are, that I think is Smudge, right?
It's called Conscious Skincare. Smudge, yeah, you're right.
Smudge. So that actually is the original face cleanser that I started using when I had cystic acne. So
Is this
that's
how you
like
wash your
what
face
started
before bed? Okay.
So that's what started it all. So that has charcoal and it's a honey base. And then it also has essential oils in it too. So everything is plant derived and plant energy.
Zen Goddess. I love the title.
Thanks. Zen Goddess is infused with green tea and arnica, and that is another really good one for acne too.
Oh, and yeah, because bruising, arnica. Okay, so is this? So you wash your face with this, and then it also says a cleanser. So what do you wash your face with both?
So when I'm in the treatment room doing facials, I will use that's an oil-based cleanser. So I'll use an oil-based cleanser as like a pre-cleanse, and then I will also double cleanse with the smudge or Cleopatra. So
Do I have Cleopatra brown?
it's not out here, but it is.
What
on
is
here.
Cleopatra?
Cleopatra is milk and honey, so it's more milk based. So it has that lactic acid, natural form of lactic acid in it.
And then the lunar piece.
Inner Peace, that
Inner
is a serum. Interesting that you picked that up because that also is really good for dermatitis.
Okay.
So,
So this is after you've used a cleanser. You put the serum on.
yeah. So you would do, just if you were at home, you would do one cleanser, whether you wanted to do an oil base. So if you're more on the dry side, using something that's more oil based will hydrate, moisturize. Using something that's more honey based is still gonna hydrate and moisturize, but it's not as heavy.
Okay.
So you would pick a cleanser, let's just say the Zen Goddess, and then you would do the Clear and Protect toner, and then you would come behind with your serum and then your moisturizer.
And then, so this is the Clear and Protect one.
Yes.
And then this is to go after the serum.
That would go before.
This goes before, okay.
So you would cleanse, tone, moisturize, and then
Cleanse, tone, moisturize. That's how it always works?
Yeah, I mean, everything, and the good thing too about these products is like you can mix and match, you can change things up. I have masks, I have exfoliants, and I'm working on a couple new products too. So you can interchange them. And the one thing too about the exfoliant is you kind of get to be the creator and pick what you want to use with it. So you can use water, you can use honey, you can use hyaluronic acid, because you know it's kind of that gel.
And you make these?
I formulate everything, so it's all my original recipes, and I handcraft everything.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
Yes, it is, but I love it, and it's what I'm supposed to be doing. So.
Okay, so one thing I've noticed every time I've gotten a facial, I get acne right afterwards. Why is that?
It can be one of two things. You can be purging, so depending on what type of skincare they're using and what is in the product, like charcoal will cause you or can cause you, it pulls out all the impurities and it detoxifies you overall. So if your facialist is using something that has charcoal in it, it's going to cause you to break out. So specifically knowing the ingredients and what that is in there, it can cause you to break out and purge.
Is that okay? Is like part of the process? Because in the long run you'll be okay, so it doesn't matter that it's just a short term?
It definitely can be part of the process. I think it depends on what skincare line you're using and what you're using. I think things that tend to have more on the chemical side can create more of that purging and more of a reaction, which is the other thing that you could be having too, is having a reaction. And again, I'm a hippie, so I'm obviously into the natural and the organic stuff, but it can cause a reaction versus the purging. And it sometimes can be difficult to tell what the difference is. So if you're purging and it's lasting more than a week, that's more of a reaction.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But again, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask like what are the key ingredients or what are the main ingredients in here when you are getting a facial. So that way you can kind of prepare yourself for like, oh, okay, this does have stuff that's going to draw out my impurities and things from my skin.
And then it's a Wild Feminine.
Wild Feminine mask.
Okay, so this is you're gonna leave on for a while.
Yeah, and that one again, you kind of get to be your own creator where you get to use it with what you want. I have some clients who use the smudge as the base for that because it's a powder. So they use that and then they use it as a mask and let it sit.
How often are people supposed to mask? Do you like the facial mask?
Once or twice a week, and it depends.
What?
So if you're using a mask that has clay in it, it's going to dry you out, and it's going to dry you out. So using something that doesn't necessarily have clay, like that is made with hibiscus and rose petals, those are the main like key ingredients. So it's not going to dry your skin out. So if that had clay in it, it's going to dry your skin out. It's obviously good for someone who has oily skin. So I would say once or twice a week. If it's a hydrating mask, you could do it twice or 3 times.
Wow.
But it just depends on what type of mask it is.
How
and
often
what
do you mask?
Honestly, I'm so bad right now. It's probably been a good month since I've masked my own skin.
Well, that's what I thought. I mean, I thought you were supposed to do it like once a month. I didn't even know we were supposed to do this on a weekly basis.
But typically, I would do it once a week. Yeah. This
Wow.
month's been, I know I'm an esthetician, but, so, yeah.
So you feel like you
typically
always
once a
have
week.
perfect skin, huh?
Yeah, and normally I put on face makeup. I normally don't wear face makeup at all. I have a really good girl who does my brows, and then she laminates them and colors them for me. And then I just got my lips blushed, and that's it. That's typically, I'll put mascara on. So, but today I was like, I'm gonna put on a little bit of face makeup. But normally I don't, and it's, everything I've used is this.
Wow. Like, and that's because you're always letting your face kind of breathe. Is that why?
That, because you're kind of like feeling fuel to the fire, putting on a lot of makeup too, and depending on what the bases are for that and the ingredients. But I just
the best makeup is always the kind that's worse for you. Like if you went to go to like get it professionally done, it's going to be like bad stuff.
Right. Well, and typically that stuff is like cake makeup. I mean, it's like that production makeup where you're in front of, cameras and stuff too, and it's for events, and so it creates that clogged pore.
The stuff that's supposed to make you look amazing in the short term is terrible for you in the long term, right?
Yes.
100%. So that's why we need to come and get this stuff.
Yes. But no, I'm also a little bit of a hippie, so I don't know, I'm kind of on the natural side, and once in a while I'll do a full face of makeup, but.
Yeah, no, I totally understand, especially for the everyday. So this is like really good, and this is how do we order from you? Do we go to your website?
I do have a website where you can order, and it's skintuitivetherapy.com. I also, on all the bottles, there's the QR codes.
Yes.
So it will tell you the ritual, because I also have it broken down for rituals. So like your skin ritual.
I love that.
And then the ingredients, and then you can refill it too. And it will take you directly to the product, and then you can click off to the website and kind of see what else is in there.
And it's good that you have the ritual on there.
Yeah. So that way, and that's been one of the biggest things is, and I'm actually teaching a class too on it too, like how to actually wash your face and like the skin ritual.
Okay, so how do we get in on that?
That's on my website too. So it's posted on my Instagram, and it is on my website. My Instagram is SkinTuitiveTherapy, and then SkinTuitiveTherapy.com. And you'll see it on the menu.
So the class is on, we just watch the reruns of it on there?
You just sign up through it on my website, and then it's actually at the full service salon that I work in.
So we do go down there and get it? Okay.
Yeah, you have your own, I'm gonna set it up where you have your own like face washing station. You're gonna get a skin consult, a skin analysis. We're going to work together on your skin ritual and what works for you. Some people are very like, I just want to wash my face and be done. So some people want a whole like 7-step, I get it. Some people want like a whole 7-step regimen, and I'm like, let's do it. So
that could be so tedious. That could take forever just to wash your face.
Washing your face, and I think too, like especially in the morning, everyone's like rushing around, right? We're trying to like get ready for the day, and then you come home and you're so tired. It's like the last thing you want to do. Like I've talked to some clients who are like, I literally lay in bed and like I will take off my makeup in bed. So, we kind of live in a world where our work is demanding, and the world is demanding of us. So taking care of ourselves tends to fall last. But yes, I want to work with you and kind of what are you gonna do? Like I'm not gonna. Let's do a skin ritual of 5 products, knowing you're like, dude, I just want to wash my face.
Yeah, and then some people have oily skin and some people have dry skin. So that's why it has to be geared towards
custom.
So How often? Like, when does the class start, or is it just go all the time, and you just how does that work?
This class is going to be on August 13th, and it is at Studio MP House of Beauty, and it's from 11 to 2. 11 to 2.
So it's a 3-hour class?
Yeah.
So how often do you, that's one, is it just one class?
I honestly, in talking with this, also with the salon owner, and she's kind of mentoring me a little bit too. So we've talked about doing it once a month. I think this is one of the classes that I'm going to start offering. So that we can all jump in there, because if we can't do it that one, then we can go the next month. Yeah. So it is something that I definitely would like to offer once a month. And
we could buy tickets online, or can we go there and just pay?
Online.
You can't go there and just pay if...
Online, only because I'm going to have like customized like setups, and it's going to be the whole 9. So I'm super excited about it. So custom kits and all of that. So
class also gets a lot of stuff to get to take home, a lot of goodies.
Yeah, you get a little... That's
awesome. So you get to learn stuff and get product. I like that.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's a missing piece for people at home. Like, it's a struggle, or they're going to the store and they're buying stuff and they're like, this is making me break out, and so I want to help educate and share the knowledge a little bit on what you can do at home and what works for your skin.
Well, I see your prices. They look reasonable. We don't really go over that here, but I mean, because I've seen...
Well, those are wholesale prices, because I also sell to Estes too.
Oh, so those are going to be ours.
Those are Estes prices. But
as long as they don't jump like double, triple, because I know when I've gone to like actual offices to get like stuff done and whatever, and they're trying to make me buy like $120 cream, and I'm just like,
that's too much.
It really is, because I just don't know, and it's so hard to like spend that much money on a maybe, that might work that for me or might not work. You can't really take it back, or that you feel weird, you know what I mean?
So I try to stay reasonable.
So this isn't in that ballpark, thank goodness.
Yeah, I try to stay reasonable. There's nothing in my skincare line at all that is over $100. And honestly, I would say there's nothing that's even over 70. So I try to stay as reasonable as possible with the organic, certified organic ingredients, and the natural ingredients, they do cost a little bit more. And then the time also of making it. So I do try to stay reasonable. And it shouldn't cost that much to take care of your skin either.
I would hope not. I just think
I feel like it's a choice.
And that's a lot. That's a lot of things that are turn people away too. So I'm like,
oh my god, another $120 product. Yeah. So, and I think it's a choice when you're, and because it's locally made, and some of these ingredients are locally sourced, and I'm we appreciate not that. Like outsourcing a manufacturing company.
And it's great that you're working with other people. So do you have like a group of people that you work with to get your products from?
Yes, I do. And I do try to source as much as I can locally, and then I outsource what I need to. But I do. I try to keep it local and in our community. And I mean, I feel like, especially in Fresno and Clovis, like we're such a small business area,
and we have a lot of stuff that you need. We are agricultural.
I just got chills. Yeah,
we're an agricultural place. Like, I mean, it's like you might as well utilize the resources that we have. Right. Not everyone's lucky enough to have.
Right. Yeah, their backyard bee farming.
Right. So it's like, and you're out there with the farmers. So I know that you are meeting the people. Like you're a good source.
So, yeah. So, and on top of that too, I feel like we've been talking so much about the ingredients, but on top of that too, I also Reiki charge these products too. So they work on a holistic level too. So they have the energy healing benefits and ingredients, as well as the skin ingredients and benefits.
And you go over a lot of that. If we follow you on like Instagram, you're active at Instagram and Facebook.
More so Instagram. It kind of just like posts it for me through Instagram.
So you will talk about that too, that you offer those type of classes as well.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So it's a one-stop shop. I like people that are very informative about what they're doing, because people just say, I do that, I don't post. And I'm like, well, if you're, we need to know what you're doing, and like when we can like jump in on it.
Gotta share the love. Yeah.
No, that's so perfect. And then I know you mainly get women as your demographic, but what can you tell us about men? Because men have terrible skin too.
Men, honestly, it's really like a fine balance between, because it's a balance between that oily and dry. So it's almost like, because men, like, they're taking that bar soap and they're like washing their face in the shower, and I just like, let's get it over and done with.
And that bar soap has been everywhere too.
Right. So it's drying their skin out. So honestly, with men, like, a big thing is moisturizing and hydrating. And even using like
and
a
you got to make
toner-
that easy for them because they're not going to do a 7-step process. You already know this.
They're over it. I mean, some men I think probably would. Like you've got some men that are like, they take really good care of themselves, but using a toner too, like my toners have hyaluronic acid in it, which draws in and pulls moisture in. So something like that, that's a toner that's real quick, right? And it has the cleansing benefits too after they've cleansed their face, plus they're still getting that moisturize and hydration without having to slap on a bunch of moisturizer or a balm.
Because they're not going to do a masking every week either. I know there's some, but the majority. So you're good at telling people if someone comes to you, look, I only going to get one thing. I only have time for one thing. What should I get? You'll be like,
right.
You know where to direct them if they tell you their needs.
Correct.
I love that I'm so glad you finally made it over here.
I know.
And I'm glad I have you now because now it seems like it grew so much from that time.
It did.
And that was just a year.
It evolved a lot, Aesthetic school really, it really pushed me into kind of the area that I just wasn't there yet. So yes, the skincare worked and yes, it was amazing. But the more that I was in school, the more I was like, we got to evolve this. Like, this makes sense. This. It was like building the skincare all over again almost. So some of these products are still the same key ingredients, and then I've amped them up with other ingredients too. So. Well,
thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for keeping it local. And then, I'm going to send everybody over to you now.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming on my show today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, so this is really cool. I heard you set some records. Some basketball records here in the Central Valley.
Yeah, a long time ago.
A long time. I probably wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, about 6 years.
Okay, so tell us about that.
So I went to Emmanuel High School, private school in Reedley. I was initially going to go to Clovis North, but me and a couple of my friends, we decided to go to Emmanuel, and we did end up doing something special there. So we all won four Valley championships, and then through those years, we ended up playing the #1 team in the nation, Chino Hills, when they had the Ball brothers, the guys who are in the NBA right now, except for one of them. So it was very exciting. They were #1 team in the country. We got to play them. But other than that, we had a really good team, and I ended up doing really well, like from my freshman year. So I got there, and I ended up being the leading scorer for Emmanuel and the leading rebounder. And then for all of Fresno and the Valley, I'm like top 5, I think, in scoring and top 5 in rebounding too. So I ended up having a really good career. Yeah.
And the records still haven't been beat, huh?
No. I mean, maybe the one in Fresno might fluctuate sometime, but I think I'm still in the top 5. I don't think anybody's passed that since I've been here. Yeah.
And did you know while you were doing it that you were like setting these records when you were playing, or you were just having fun?
Yeah, I had no idea. I think like when I got older, you kind of like, I remember playing, I would never think about the stats or anything. I was just out there trying to win and have fun, like honestly. And I think that was kind of weird. Like once you get older and go to college, then you know, stats, maybe they put in your head that stats are everything and all that. But when I was scoring the most and doing everything I love to do, it was when I wasn't thinking about anything, like, and everything came to me when you play it like that. So I think if you,
wow,
yeah.
And so, what did the colleges say when you came in? You had these records.
You know, they're more evaluating you just on your game. I don't know if I mean, obviously they care about the records, but when you get there, it's a whole different game now. Like, everything you did in high school doesn't matter, you know, because everybody in college, once you reach your level, everybody's good. They're there for a reason, and then you have to prove yourself on the college level too. So I don't think the records matter as much, but it's like now you got to prove why you're that.
And then when you're like in the paper and in the news for all these records, is that when you finally were like, oh, this actually matters? I did this. When did that kind of dawn on you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know really. I just kind of I just kind of just go with the flow. Like, that's kind of just been my thing. Like, I enjoy playing basketball, and records are cool or whatever. But you know, I like winning, and I don't know. I haven't felt that sense of like, wow, this is like, I don't know, like being satisfied. Like, I don't think I'm ever like, I enjoy it, but I don't feel like I'm like satisfied with it.
You're always striving for
the at the end of the day, you know, I'm not making $1 million yet doing all this, so
you're almost there.
Maybe if I get a contract like that, I'll care about it more. But I just enjoy what I do.
So explain to us the college and how you ended up where you ended up in college.
Through my whole career.
The whole college career.
Oh yeah,
I heard the story that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's a long story, but I'll shorten it. But yeah, after I had a pretty good career, you know, up to my senior year. Actually, my junior year summer, I was at St. Mary's camp, and I actually got injured. So I've had a couple injuries in my career, which I'll talk about a little bit. But yeah, I got injured, and I didn't know, so I ended up playing my whole senior year. And my AAU summer being hurt, and I didn't know, so we tried physical therapy and all that. But it turns out I tore my labrum in my left hip. So that required surgery right before I'm going to college. So I had a medically redshirt, so that means I missed the whole year.
Oh,
so yeah,
goodness.
After that, yeah, I ended up going to Cal State Bakersfield, so Division I over there. But yeah, through that whole year, I was just watching. It was kind of hard, you know.
That would be really hard.
Yeah, you know, you move away, you watching, but you're not too far away. So went through that, but then I had an opportunity to play the next year. You know, it takes a long time coming back from an injury, and different stuff happened.
Especially that one, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, some stuff wasn't agreeing with the coaches and different stuff. So apart from the injury, you know, there was some other, like, you know, some stuff that people deal with in college basketball. So I tried it 1 year. That was my first year playing, and the second year was the year I was like, okay, now I have to leave, you know, because it just wasn't working out the way.
And that was in Bakersfield?
Yeah, that was in Bakersfield.
Okay.
So after that, I decided to go to Fresno Pacific. So I ended up committing to Fresno Pacific. And interesting about Fresno Pacific, why I chose them as well, because, you know, I needed somebody I could trust, and, you know, for this my career, because I've been in college 3 years now, and it went by like that. So Coach Haydock and Coach McClure, they were my high school coaches at Emmanuel, and they ended up becoming the college coaches at Fresno Pacific. So right when I was entering out my locker room, he called me and was like, hey, I want you on our team, or whatever like that. So I ended up going there, and I remember there was COVID and everything was happening.
Oh no.
Then COVID was happening, but we had a chance to play some games or something like that. We were still gonna go with the season. And then like a week before that, I ended up tearing my ACL. So I ended up tearing my ACL, yeah.
Like right before, well.
Like a week before the Fresno State game, we were going to play Fresno State. So yeah, I remember it was the day of the NBA draft and all that. I was in my room crying and stuff, but my family was there with me. But,
oh my God.
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, it was tough, but you know, it made me to the person I am today. So after that, you know, I'm thinking like, wow, it's 4 years already. And it feels like I haven't played college basketball. I didn't play a lot at Bakersfield. You know, that's my dream. So I felt like I didn't play at all.
You were playing a lot Pacific until COVID or until the injury, right?
Well, no, that was my first year at Fresno Pacific.
Okay,
yeah.
I
was practicing. Yeah, so yeah, it was my first. So I didn't even get to step on the court. So I really haven't had really any college experience really playing. So I played a little bit at Bakersfield. But yeah, so after that, you know, I had a brace on technically my junior year, but this was already my 4th year in college. So something like that, yeah, my junior year. So yeah, I was playing with a brace, but I got to play, you know, and I started enjoy the game again, love the game again, you know.
Was there a break they took because of COVID though, where you weren't playing?
Yeah, there was like so because of my injury, I couldn't play at all. They split it up in a weird way during COVID.
So when was your injury?
was it about 3 years ago, maybe 3?
So like it was at the start of COVID.
Start COVID, yeah.
Well, wouldn't that be a good time to heal because no one's playing anywhere, or no?
Yeah, so it gave me opportunity. So like it gave me another year so I could play. If I didn't tear, like if I tore my ACL and COVID wasn't, I would only have 1 year to play. But I actually got 2 years
because of COVID.
Because of COVID.
So it did help a little.
So it worked out.
A little bit of a silver lining.
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out a little bit. So yeah, after that I ended up playing. Had a good first year, but still didn't feel myself because I had my brace. But after that, you know, this year that I had, you know, I took it and ran with it. I ended up having a pretty good season for my senior year.
And that was at Fresno Pacific.
Yeah, that was at Fresno Pacific. So Fresno
I graduated too. So.
Okay, yeah, alma mater. So yeah, I just graduated with my master's in business. So I ended up getting my master's too. So COVID gives you great opportunity as well.
Right, you got a master's out of all that too.
Yeah, I got a master's out of all that too, and now I'm finna play professional basketball. So.
Okay, so tell us about this. This is super exciting to me because you're gonna go to Europe. So tell us about how you decided on this.
Well, yeah. So after my season, you know, I hire an agent. Then it's kind of up to me to do my thing.
Where do you find an agent for this, a sports agent?
Well, he actually reached out to me. So
okay, so where's he from?
He's actually in the Netherlands, but he's like from kind of like SoCal area.
Okay.
He's kind of from SoCal area, but he ended up a guy that was on my team from London. He was on my team at Fresno Pacific, my junior year at Fresno Pacific. And that was his agent.
International kids there, so that's
that's
a perk. Okay.
Yeah, so it worked out like that. So after he saw me improving in my seasons, and he reached out to me, and then a couple other agents reached out to me. Then your college coach has connections to agents, you know, so you can really just get in the mix pretty easy. And
that's great that they have connections. They were initially high school coaches.
Yeah, that's just the basketball world. So, you know, once you start knowing everybody in basketball world, it just comes around.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I got some other people that I could reach out to get agents. You know, I've been in the basketball world, you know, really deep in there, so.
But you like this one guy.
Yeah. He ended up like,
him.
Yeah, I chose him, but you know, I got to handle my end of the deal too. So I've just been working super hard and been waiting, and we talk about different job offers here and there, and somebody gave me an offer, and so I'm taking it. Yeah.
So where are you going to play exactly?
In Germany, in Dorsten, Germany. Sounds cold, but I'm
wow.
gonna be enjoying it. Yeah, in Dorsten, Germany. The team is called BG Dorsten, and that's where I'm gonna start my rookie year. So.
Wow, and then like, do you just train all through? What's a basketball year like in Europe? Is it the same as our season here? It's different.
I think it's about the same. I mean,
okay.
I get there in August, so I'll be there August, and then they have a period where they play until sometimes April, like at the end of April, maybe March, but it depends. You know, and then you can also like sign in different teams with all that stuff. So it's a whole bunch of stuff going on.
All these Euro, and they're very tall. Like in some.
Oh yeah. Basketball is so universal, man, and they love.
I know
basketball.
In Europe they're like really tall. So like you're gonna have some interesting like competition.
Oh yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited about playing.
So when you do that, and that's like your main job and your main focus, right? So that's all you're gonna do. You're not gonna like get a job. It's not like this is like a this is like professional. This is like they want your focus on the game.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I might
breathe and live.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But of course, I might do some online business stuff if I figure out some. So I might try to do something.
Oh, that's right. You have a business degree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I gotta use it. I'm gonna still use it in a way, but I'll put my mind together.
So speaking of that, there's a business you're kind of working on right now.
It's just a small thing.
What is it? Do you want to share it?
I mean, so I sell like AirPod cases. So I started selling AirPod cases back in COVID, and I had my own website for a minute, but then instead, me and my dad just drove around and we found different stores to put my AirPod cases in. So I just put them in there, and they give me a little money from here and there.
So how'd you come up with that? So
my friend, he was also a kind of business major. He was older than me though when I was in college, and we were just like, man, gotta find a way to, make a little money, being at college, even though they give you a stipend for basketball, you still want to have your own,
spending money.
Yeah, so we was all thinking about different stuff, and he was like, man, you should probably try this. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. And like, whenever I do something, I go all the way in. So I started researching and stuff, and got me, shipped them in, from China or whatever, and then ever since then, I've been kind of selling them, and they give me a little money here and there. So,
well, where can we buy them?
So there's one in Small Cakes, in River Park. So I have a little kiosk thing there.
Nice.
Yeah,
you underplay this so much. I don't.
And then Tower Records. So around here, Tower Records, I got some cases in there, and their little kiosk thing. So
where'd you come up with them? And like design? How'd you come up with this?
You just look online. So like.
Are any of these like your designs or any of these you're just like rebranding?
No, they got a whole bunch of just different stuff you can choose from. Whatever you think is hot, like whatever the way you put it, so you got to think like what's trending and stuff right now. And you get what's trending, you put it in the case, people buy it, and then so.
So you might do that a little bit of that in Germany too?
Well, I don't know. I think I want to do something else. So I don't know. I mean, there's so much stuff with AI and different niches and a whole bunch of just different passive income things. I know when you're there, you'll
see what everybody's into.
Yeah. So
it's probably going to be different.
Yeah. So we'll see, but I'm always just getting knowledge and seeing different ways. I've always been a hustler. I always just been, bottles, everything. I used to take bottles out trash cans when I didn't need to or nothing. Collect a whole bunch of coins. I do that. Yeah, vending machines. I do it all. So whatever way, I don't think it will stop, even if I'm, playing ball. So.
And do you know anybody else that's going to go
to play pro?
Yeah, where you are.
Not to the exact place that I am.
But a few Europe.
I know a couple of guys that's been in the game. I'm in the basketball world, so a lot of my community is basketball. So a lot of my friends have gone on to play at the highest level. So either overseas or some even, G League right under the NBA. I know some NBA guys and stuff, but my close group, they're overseas right now. So
okay, good. So you are going to kind of be, or playing against them, huh?
Maybe. It's so many leagues. Maybe.
Okay.
There's so many leagues, so we might not even be close to each other or see each other.
Well, Europe extremely close, so it's like,
yeah,
it's like going from Visalia to Fresno, to another country. So it's like you might get to hang out with them at least on your downtime.
Maybe if they're close to me. But yeah, I know a lot of guys going to France and Finland and Turkey, and it's great to see everybody. You might get
to actually kind of see them on the weekend.
Maybe. Yeah, you never know. You never know.
That is so cool. Are you interested at all in learning the language?
Nah. not. Maybe I'll learn some stuff. Maybe not German though. Not German. Maybe something that's easier. I
know it's hard.
Yeah, I'm not German.
Are you when you sign a contract for this, how many years are you supposed to play for this German league? For this contract specifically, I'm still looking over it, but you can choose to for this contract by October, I can choose if I want to sign with another team or not. Or at the end of the year, it's just like 1 year contract. Okay, so then at the end of the year,
usually it's 1 year or like halfway through the season. So I can decide okay, I'm going with a different team here, but sometimes that doesn't always look good. So
sometimes someone might see you and they'll be like,
and be like,
it doesn't always look good because you don't want to be jumping. Like a job, you don't want to jump around.
Exactly.
You have to have a little bit of loyalty and time too. Okay.
But if it's like a bigger club that wants me, then it's like, okay, I probably
if the money's good enough.
Yeah, that's what it is. So usually it's just 1 year. So you always want to move up unless that team that you're on moves up like that year and they can give you more money and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm a rookie, so I'm starting at the lowest level, and then I got to work myself up. So hopefully in a year or two, I could change my whole situation. So. And
you're good right now as far as the injuries go. You don't feel like you have any setbacks physically?
I'm good. God bless me. I went through this tough, but it didn't stop it.
It's not like you haven't gone through it.
Yeah. Stuff happens though. Playing sports, it happens to everybody, but. I'm good. I'm ready. This is the healthiest I've been. This has been my healthiest off season that I've ever had. So,
what's the timeline for a lot of your friends that go on? I mean, I know Kobe played forever, but what's the average timeline that you guys realistically do this?
I mean, probably like for everybody, it could be 5 years or less. Is the average. But I've seen a lot of guys personally that I've known that's been playing since they've been. 12 years in, 14 years in, I feel like it's about your resilience and perseverance and then opportunities that you have, you got to take them and run with them. And if you really love the game, so it's a whole bunch of different factors. Me personally, I want to play for as long as I can I can run and jump and dunk and, you know, what LeBron's doing. I would love to play that long, you know, and be, you know, blessed to play that long. But I see that average around professionals aren't long at all sometimes.
Right.
But I mean, my inner circle has been playing. They can play, so they've been playing a long time.
So is it possible that you could ever go into the NBA from there, or is it very unlikely?
I mean, yeah, you know, I'm 24 years old. You know, NBA does like young guys and stuff like that. But, you know, my window is still there. Okay. You know, if an opportunity comes, you know, if I can get a tryout on a G League team or try a tryout with an NBA team, you know, that could be my opportunity.
And if you do really kick ass there, does the word come back to you? Where people are
yeah,
like,
you
hey,
know,
you know, we want him back over here. Let's have him try out for this.
Yeah, it's who you know too. Like I know a lot of people that are in, you know, NBA circles. So I'm thinking that's, you know, God put that for me.
And having that one good year right now could be what does it.
You never know. So I just believe that's what I believe, and I believe that'll work out like that. So hopefully just everything, you know, I have faith that everything's going to work out, you know, and I'll get my opportunity. Then it's my chance to really take the opportunity and go all the way with it.
How exciting. Where can we follow you? And are you active on social media where you're going to tell us, like, you're going to show the games and show a little bit of
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll definitely, like, post highlights and stuff like that.
Right
or maybe
on.
even the games that, like, I have. But, yeah, I have an Instagram that I'm pretty active on, Twitter a little bit. But
okay, so what's your Insta?
My Insta is D_CTMD, then 25. My basketball.
Right on. That's your number?
Yeah, that's my number, 25, yeah.
And that is so awesome. Thank you so much for coming on my show. This is so cool.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
I mean, it's always awesome when someone from Fresno does really well. You know, it's like that whole, like, Fresno pride. So thanks for doing so great for our city.
Oh, yeah. No, Fresno's a great place, and we have a lot of talent here and a lot of people, and I feel like we need to be proud of this and put it on notice. So thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you, yeah.
Okay, so what do we have here?
So these are a couple of my paintings. I think, you know, I brought these through because I think they mostly like reflect like the type of artist I want to do and like, the type of artist I want to be and the type of style that I want to have.
Okay, so what's this one? We'll go over this one and I'll go over this.
So I would say this one is, it's like a garden, but like in my own way. I always love painting flowers, anything like nature type. So
am I holding it the right way?
It's actually vertical, but I mean you can. I guess the cool part about it is you can hold it like any way that you want to. I guess
these are wet. I should have some paint on.
Oh,
it might be the heat.
It might. Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I feel bad.
It's
I
fine.
smudged it. I'm smudging art, guys.
It takes a while for the oil to dry. So
this is so pretty. So it's vertical. Okay, so now I get it. Now it's like growing up. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is pretty. I love the coloring in this one.
Yeah.
So how long does something like this take?
Honestly, I don't really keep track of time. Sometimes when I get to it, I'm just like, I'm going. But I would say maybe it took me about a day and a half. Okay. So like a day to kind of get everything on, and then I kind of like refined the different details the next day.
And then I love this one. I see a face. I know which way this goes.
Yeah. So this was actually the first one that I did when I like first started trying to do paintings without a reference. So I just kind of
anybody.
Yeah, it's not anybody. I just started with an eye and kind of painted around it. I feel like that's how I usually do faces if I do like paint them, and I just kind of went along with it. It's definitely like the first piece where I was like, okay, I kind of like this style. Like I started adding on different like geometric type shapes and just kind of went for it, I guess.
That is so cool. I love how you do the eyes and the nose and all comes together and the lips are right there. That's so pretty.
Thank you.
So what kind of art is this called? What style?
I wish I knew an exact name, but I could say maybe it definitely teeters more into the realm of like abstract art.
Okay.
But I don't really know the specific names for it. I'm sure there's more like expressionism and all those different things, but I would say it's more abstract.
So what kind of artist, who is one of your favorite artists?
Ooh. Definitely one of my favorite artists is Gustav Klimt.
Oh, okay.
Gustav. And
which way do I hold this? I don't want to hold it.
You can hold it any way, honestly, but if you see it, it's like a daisy, and it's kind of standing
daisy
upright.
have a face?
Yeah, it has a face.
The daisy's looking up, right?
Yeah, it's looking up. Yeah, so it has a face. This was kind of just like a kind of whatever painting. I remember I did it like after a day of like I think after I got out of class or something, went home and like started just painting it. It was more so because I think I'm in a period now where I'm still trying to figure out what's my like signature, like what's my style. So I was just kind of playing around with that one.
So how long does something like this take?
That one took me probably 2 days.
And then
2 days probably.
The face lady?
The face one took the longest. That one took me about a week.
Okay, that
because I was experimenting a lot with it.
That's very detailed.
So, yeah.
So wow. So that's the daisy, and then what's over here?
The rest of it, I mean, like the way I see it, it's like I would see this as a cloud, but the rest is honestly just a bunch of, just like I was just freehand painting. One of my favorite things that I like to do is like kind of just 3D, so like not really blending in the paintings, like letting it dry on, like.
Yeah, so it pops.
Yeah, so it pops a little bit, so. Yeah.
So when did you even start doing all this?
So I would say like I've always been into art, and I remember it started as just like sketching, like just sketching in little notebooks. I was always pretty like decent at drawing. I'm a self-taught artist, but I just started sketching, and then I started upping it to oil pastels, which I love using oil pastels.
So no classes ever?
No classes. I did like the standard high school art class, but I think...
Well, we know we don't learn anything.
Yeah, you never learn. I mostly just talked to the teacher the whole class, and she kind of just let me do whatever, because she's like, you can just like paint whatever. I think that it honestly helped too, because like I wasn't like restricted to any types of paintings that I had to do, so like I kind of just did whatever I wanted to, and I think that also helped me kind of figure out what I like wanted to start painting. But I've been doing art since I was a little kid, and I didn't realize it was a focus that I wanted to have until like now, because I went into college as a STEM major, and then after my freshman year I was like, I don't know if this is for me, so I switched my major to graphic design because I was like, I want to focus on art. And so yeah, now I'm really in like more of a transformational stage right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool that you're just kind of like going for it.
Yeah, just something, and it's definitely a risk, I feel like, because with I was a biology major, and I knew everything about it. I knew like the direct path. With this, I know nothing. Like I'm happy because it's more it's more exciting, because you just don't really know what's gonna happen, or you get to take a bunch of art classes. I'm like, that's a dream to me, so I'm like, I honestly don't mind.
So this is going to be the start this semester?
It's like the start, yeah, and I want to just keep painting, hopefully like sell a couple pieces, and and just keep going on from there, build a pretty decent like portfolio for the future.
Where do you go to school at?
I go to Fresno State, yeah. I'm an incoming sophomore, so that's exciting. I do hope to transfer after this year, hopefully to go to a city that's more focused
on art.
On art, I would say. But yeah.
Do you ever go to the art hops?
Yes, I go to the art hop. I love the art hops. Yeah, definitely.
Because you could be selling there. You've thought about it? Yeah,
I think now that I know I'll have more time on my hands and that'll be my primary focus, I think like I'm definitely really considering like looking into it. I think it'll be great for getting my stuff out there, and also just kind of developing as an artist.
So you went from the sciences to the arts.
To sciences to art, yeah.
That's not a bad combo though, even if you come back to science or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
This is so cool. So in high school, did you start, is that when you kind of started really diving into it and buying the paints? Because I know paints can be expensive.
Yeah, and I'll say my parents helped me out a little bit.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, because it's oil paints. Anything oil-based is very expensive. And I understand, because like it's very pigmented, it's amazing quality. So it is definitely, it's not cheap to make paintings, which I learned the hard way.
You learned some stuff, you're like...
Yeah, I was like, I can't do that again. I can't let this dry out again, but yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then have you taken any art class at all in college? This is going to be the first one you're upcoming?
This would be the first one I'm taking.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. There's definitely some nerves with it.
Have you ever gone to paint nights?
No, what are those?
Where they go and like you paint, someone teaches you right then there to paint.
No, I've never gone to those before. Yeah.
Well, it's a lot more different than this. I mean, this is real art here, but that's for like the everybody, the people that don't know how to paint a lot.
No. Yeah.
And then where did you come up with all like the colors? That's something that you're always drawn to?
it was interesting because with this one, it was really just going to be like a blue face and like a red or yellow. I forgot what the background was, but it was just going to be like a solid background. But then I like added on another color, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I was like, I like how the yellow contrasts with the red, and then I added on another one. And I didn't want to paint the face, but I was like, I'm just gonna add paint on the face because I think it makes it pop more. And
I love it. I love that you painted the face.
Thank you. Yeah.
This is so cool. So you haven't sold anything yet?
So my parents, well, actually the first painting that I sold was actually to my cousin, Darrin Person. Yeah. So he had me paint like a jazz scene, and that was the first one that I did. It's definitely, and now that I'm glad that you brought that up because it like kind of unlocked a little memory for me. And when I think about the style of that painting, it definitely reflects like these ones now. So that was the first one that I sold, and then I've sold 2 to my parents. So far just family, but I hope to like get it out to the public.
I would totally buy something. This is really cool.
Oh, really?
I bought something bigger though.
Yeah, like a larger.
Yeah, larger. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So do you have like a website or Instagram yet where you're showcasing some of this stuff? Yeah,
so I do have an Instagram account. It's called a.irene_arts.
Okay.
The name is to be like I'm trying to figure out a little name. I haven't been paying much attention to it right now, but I think once I get more and more pieces, I'm gonna start being more active on it. But definitely, if anybody wants to reach out to me, like I think I put in my bio, like you can DM me if you have any requests or any questions.
To request? Wow, you're really willing to take on, like if somebody wants.
Yeah.
What are you willing to do?
I honestly think when it comes to painting, I'm glad that I have confidence in it. Like I'm like, as long as I can put in the time, like, and I'm like determined enough, I really think I could paint anything. I think. But
you could paint, so if someone says I want you to paint my dog or my friend, you're willing to take it on?
I'm willing to do it. Yeah, I have considered. I'm like, maybe I could offer like painting it in my own style, because that would be something I'm most comfortable with.
Right.
But I'm like, if I just let anybody, like if they can make any requests they want, it would kind of draw in more like business maybe. But like I said, everything is kind of like in the works.
So far, what was the hardest thing that you've tried to tackle?
The hardest thing, definitely realism. Like painting a family portrait or just like a self-portrait.
I can only imagine.
It's very hard to like.
I'm like, you want to tackle that? Wow.
Yes, it's very hard. I've done it before. I've done, what do you call it? Like, I forget what the paintings are called, but I have done like a realistic face because my art teacher was like, maybe you should try this or whatever. So I did it in oil paints, and I was actually able to get it pretty detailed, but it just took so long. It took me a month to even probably do like a smaller portion of the face.
Wow.
Because I think also with me not having classes, it is a disadvantage when you try and do realism, because they teach you like how to really paint those human-like features, like the undertones and skin and texture and stuff. So it's very hard to do when you haven't like learned it.
Do you ever watch a lot of YouTube and figure that out as well?
No, my primary source is Pinterest. Pinterest has been there for me from the beginning. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's very helpful.
And then, do you seem like your mom?
Oh, I can't say like my mom.
Because you guys are like an arts family, so I think that's really cool.
I mean, if I gotta sing a little bit, I can, but no, nothing like my mom.
What's your preference of how to sing? Like, what's your kind of songs you like to sing?
Ooh, I love me some R&B. You can put on some Giveon or like, I don't know, Summer Walker. I'll go off to that, but
you haven't created your own music yet?
No, I've never created my own music
I could see you doing that to match the art pieces.
Yeah,
because this is very inspirational, the pieces.
Yeah. I did used to play the piano. I composed a song when I was little. Like it was a short little song when I was 5 years old, but I stopped taking lessons because I think it was hard to kind of tackle along with school during high school. So
you did a lot in school.
Yeah.
You were pretty accomplished. Tell us a little bit about high school.
Oh, so I did a lot of sports. I think I did almost everyone in the book except maybe soccer. I think I did tennis for a short period. So yeah,
what was your best?
My best? Oof. That's a hard one. If it's between volleyball and basketball. I think those two, but I think maybe basketball might have been my best if I kept on going. Maybe.
And then when you transfer, when you were like graduated high school, I know you had like a high GPA, and then you chose state to be kind of close to home for the first 2 years.
Yeah, it was definitely. I'm really glad. My original plan wasn't to stay here, but you know, things kind of worked in a way where I ended up staying home, and I'm honestly really glad though, because I was able to build so many like amazing relationships and friendships and everything. So I think everything happens for a reason, but I'm definitely ready to move on to something different.
What are some of the art schools you've looked at?
Oh, so all of them are in New York, but what comes with New York is that it's insanely expensive and all the schools are private. So I'm like, is it worth it to go for the next 2 years? But honestly, I'm just gonna kind of just pray on it, hope.
Maybe get a scholarship.
Get a scholarship, because I'm like, if I could build
grades.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So I'm like, if I can, especially this year, like really grind and get a couple of pieces out. If they do require a portfolio, I hope that could get me in and get me a good scholarship.
What are all your science peeps saying from first year?
Oh, I haven't told them. That's a little, yeah.
They're like, what? You left us hanging.
I feel so bad because one of my closer friends in college, she left STEM for criminology before that, and I felt so betrayed. I was like, you're just leaving me here. But now I feel like that person now.
That is hysterical.
I don't know what to tell them when we all come back to school.
Well, I can't wait to see what you're doing. So I'm gonna like take a look at your Instagram, and then hopefully we'll see you at Art Hop.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on my show today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed myself here.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh, I must confess, dear, don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do, and there's no more use in running, no more running to you. And I don't want your loving, I don't wanna be just friends, knowing all this time we were playing pretend.
It's a mystery.
Hi, I'm Sparkle Sujin, and I am the host of the Everything Sparkle Show. I would like to invite you to come and hang out with me every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, as I interview the world one guest at a time. Everything Sparkle is available on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and CMAC.tv. Plus, if you're in the Central California area, you can watch on Comcast Xfinity Channel 93 or AT&T UVerse Channel 99. Hope to see you there.